You're gonna read some funny comments? We have. Someone posted actually someone posted a funny meme, which I like. But in the comments, they're only toxic towards me. I think this is quite funny. Gets paired up with Chris Heroes, lose anyways. I think that's a good one. I like it. That's a good meme. But then I read the comments and it's just like, Chris can be very good at carrying, but frequently ignores small skirmishes happening right next to him to secure farm. Sometimes this is the right place, sometimes not, but we almost always let his teammates fight and die near him when he can help if there is any farm nearby. If I saw I was on his team, I would avoid any fights near him except for large objectives, as he never seems willing to help. 52 upvotes. I never help anyone that fights next to me. Never. To agree, if you have some micro and macro skill, making sure you level it might leave you to the biggest chance of winning for your team, but it's a team game and you can only pull so much out of your ass before there's nothing left. It's easy to sit there and judge each other. Do you see every second of every player during a game? Exactly, right? But then he says, wait, if this guy plays to an audience that encourages negative reinforcements, then he will just be like every other toxic player that complains about others. Why would I be wrong? Yeah, he has a lifetime solo queue of 60.7 win rate, which speaks for itself, but in recent seasons, it definitely hasn't been as high. Maybe in the mid-50s. But part of it, I think, is sometimes sloppiness in his play and his propensity to not scrimmage, like you said. I don't scrimmage? Bro, I have 100k damage in every single game that I play. I only go for damage numbers. How do I not scrimmage? Guys, I'm the biggest guy. I'm one of the biggest players who only goes for damage because that's all I care about. Having high damage numbers is what I find fun. And then they say I don't scrimmage? That's all I do. All I do is go for fights that make no sense because I enjoy big damage numbers. Isn't that kind of just counter? I mean, for Via though, right? All I do is I go for so many fights because I enjoy having high damage numbers, but of course he tries to win, but I don't think he really cares all that much. I mean, I figure content creators are always trying to make new videos, so they might be super aggressive with random builds, trying to get clips. Just like, those comments are so cringe. Like, as if that happens every single game. Like, oh man. Reading stuff like this is so cringe. It is so cringe. Yeah, every game I play is only for clip. I mean, nobody's perfect. That is true. But like, isn't this just like a meme? It's supposed to just be a funny picture. Like, it's just supposed to be a funny meme, right? Why do people take it so serious? I've played with him multiple times, randomly not on purpose, I think around 9 games. Each game he has been, to put it politely, terrible. Not rotating for objectives, ignoring team fights next to him and is sad above and backcapping at Ray. Do they play with a different Chris Heroes? It's funny because I watch the live streams of some of this match. I always turn it on if I play with a well-known streamer. In a chat, we're slagging everyone else off despite his poor plays. Don't get me wrong, I feel some of his content, but he's far from the best. I played 2 times with him and once against him with my friend. I was playing Attacker Eldegoss and the chat was laughing at my build. Imagine playing support without XP share. Yeah, and what's wrong about that? LMR, look at the Eldegoss. Things like that. Yeah, I mean, that's... What do you mean? People just commenting on things. Be happy that I play as support. I could also lane with the Sidgewai. Wow. Okay. He was playing Jungle Ninja and as you said, he wasn't helping at all. Almost invisible in team fights. He keeps farming the whole game. He did get level 15 at Ray, but we still lost, so it didn't matter. I ended with 6 kills, 9 assists. Took 2 Reggies, but he still refuses to say anything positive about us. He's a good player. I do watch his YouTube videos. He does crazy stuff sometimes, but when I saw his Twitch stream, I felt like I was watching someone else. People really just play one game with you and then they like have a personal like hate against you for the rest of their lives. Playing Attacker Eldegoss is just another attacker. Yeah. Thank you, Agent 1073. Thanks for saying it. Appreciate it, man. I've always played with him a bunch randomly. He's not great, just an average toxic solo queue player who can't accept he makes mistakes. Most games with him end up in a loss. How do people... How's it... Okay, if most games with me end in a loss, then I'm a 60% win rate player. What does that have in common? I win 60% of my games, but every time this guy is in my game, we lose. Something doesn't add up, right? If I'm a 60% win rate player, but every time he's on my team, we lose. Huh. Almost like there's something more to it. Oh man, that's funny. And people always say I never admit mistakes. I feel like I do admit mistakes. Whenever I do something bad, I say I'm grieving. I grieve this. I shouldn't have done this. This was dumb of me. The thing is, of course, I'm going to point out other mistakes more because there's 4 players in my team who make more mistakes than I do. So of course I'm going to point out other mistakes more because it's much more likely to happen that one of my allies makes mistakes than I do because there's 4 of them who are also statistically worse players than I am. So of course, right? Doesn't logically make sense that I point out other mistakes more? But I do say when I do something bad. It just doesn't, you know, of course, like... It's very unlikely they can correctly be the judge of Chris Hero's solo queue gameplay. They're definitely not the best player playing the game, but it's very likely that they are in the top 1%. That's not by accident. Yeah. Not saying Chris never makes a mistake, but it's very likely not as frequently as you think. The mechanics and macro knowledge are high. In solo queue, it's not always a good play to rotate to objectives or engage in team fights for a very key reason. Knowing when it's what makes the great players great. Oh, Time Mission. Can we get some round of applause for Time Mission? That's actually an amazing comment. Thank you. That is, I just know that this guys know what he's talking about. Time Mission 9931. I applaud to you. That's a good comment. Thank you. Someone understands. Someone actually understands. This comment, he's one of the best ones. Chris Heroes obviously is very good, but the one time I got matched with him, he fed a lot on lane up. So back in like season 3. Guys, we're in season 13. This guy is still hung up that I once time fed on his team in season 3. That 2 years ago, or 1.5 years ago, one time I was feeding in his team. 1.5 years ago, and he's still mad about it. That he still remembers it and writes it down. Wait, the other time I was playing Garchomp jungle and he was laning Aegislash. He didn't notice me slip in the bushes and he died first gank. Then our top lane snowballed from there. Wow. He snuck into a bush and killed me and then... Wow. Not surprised at all, he's decent at the game, but he makes a ton of mistakes. Time after time I would see him make a rookie mistake and immediately starts blaming his teammates for why he died. He's not much different from everyone else, other than having a platform. How do these people believe these things they're writing? I just don't understand how they believe those things that they're writing. Ends up in a thumbnail of video called "Damn, this team was trash." Wow. How often have I done this? Like once, two times in 2,000 videos? Chris has multiple different kinds of fans, so even if you did queue with him, chances are both you and him might have to carry the game, so... I feel like Chris Heroes has a toxic fanbase from these past comments. How are these comments my fanbase if they hate me? I rarely see people on Srage's stream going, wow, that person didn't choose the very optimal build. I mean, yeah. Oh, that guy must... Okay. Many possible reasons, though. Either he didn't play perfectly with mistakes, enemy team abused the meta Pokemon. Yeah, it's pretty funny to read these comments, for sure. It is, it's very funny to see what people think. The thing is, like, I just know what I have to do in solo queue to win games, right? You can't just understand. If you would understand what I'm doing all the time as well, more people would be much better in solo queue. There's a reason to what I make for decisions, right? Like, I think about the game 24/7 when I play it, and I always think about what would be the best thing for me to get experience in, to win the game, right? It's solo queue after all. Yeah, of course I'm gonna try my best to be the solo carry, and that's gonna be annoying for some people to have in your team as well. But like, I don't go to fights that make no sense. Yeah, why would I go to a team fight that makes no sense just because my teammates are fighting for it? No, of course not, right? Yeah, I choose fights I like taking, but to say that I ignore every single skirmish next to me when I'm a damage farming, like I damage farm as much as I can. It's like, it's just, I don't know where these opinions come from. I do think people just like get very personal offended. Like when you're a content creator and you play with someone, right? And you call them bad one thing at a time, or you say, wow, he made such a bad play, they will forever hate you. Because they get so personally attacked by you saying they were bad. I think that's what happens. And then I choose to believe that, you know, that's the case. But yeah, I mean, that's so fun. Like, imagine playing support with the XP share. Yeah, why would my Twitch chat not say that? Like, it's at this point, it's very normal to play Eldegoss with XP share, right? So, yeah, I mean, I don't see how that's an unfair comment to say from someone in my Twitch chat, you know? But yeah. But like, do I never admit my, like, honestly, I mean, and you guys are probably gonna be like in my favor, but do I never admit mistakes? Is it this bad? I mean, I make I make mistakes, but I just do fewer mistakes than others. But like, do I never admit I do mistakes? I don't know where that narrative comes from that I never admit mistakes. Like, I just don't know. Like, if I think I did something bad, I will say it.